Hi, my name is Kristen Chamberlain. I am a visual design student studying for my certification in web design, and this is Josephine. Underdog is a book about a 5-year-old Staffordshire Terrier mix who has been in the shelter system for 4 years. I have advocated for her ever since she came into the shelter, and still today, though she is in foster. I pick her up twice a week for walks. You can say I am her personal photographer as well as her social media manager. Knowing what I wanted my book cover subject to be was the easy part. The goal was to write a book about the one dog who cannot find her forever home even after 4 years in the system. The cover needed to represent her as well as the fact that it was an educational yet playful journey through her past 4 years. There were many ideas that flowed through my mind as I worked on this book cover. As one of her biggest fans, nothing was good enough for it. I started off by using the chalk duster font for the title and Arial for the subtitle and author's name. The title was then changed to a more graffiti-like blackboard font. All the while, the color palette remained aqua, black, and gray. I found that the project seemed a bit harsh, and with some great feedback from my peers, I ended up settling on Zapatina for the title and a bright fuchsia, keeping Arial for the subtitle and author's name. This change also brought about a change in the color palette from darker tones to brighter neons used in the background and the title. The breed already gets a bad rap, so this change to a more colorful and playful appearance is the best choice for the book cover. Originally, the goal was to create a minimalist-looking book cover that showed her regal beauty, but this came across harsh, and the breed does not need any help with their negative rap. In the end, the option to go softer and more feminine was made, and a playful photo of Josephine was selected along with the brighter, more colorful background. My storyboard here and in the next few slides will show you her story. The brighter colors, softer font, and playful photo will draw in more readers from the original book cover. This book is about her journey. Animal lovers will enjoy reading about her extra lengthy stay in the shelter system. Again, this is her story, how one misunderstood dog has been left in the shelter system over 4 years. Josephine was dropped off at the Pflugerville Animal Shelter in July of 2017. In no time, she was adopted right away, only to be returned a few days later with no reason provided to the shelter staff. After a short time, it was quite evident that she was showing signs of kennel stress. She began acting out aggressively, being destructive, and even her outer appearance showed evidence of increased tension. 8 months later, a meeting was called between shelter staff and volunteers. They were facing some hard decisions. Josephine's behavior was not allowing her to be adopted, and they had to make a choice about her future. Staff and volunteers chose training, and she went into an extensive training program along with some of the staff and a few dedicated volunteers. After training, there was an incident where she was accused of biting one of the shelter staff. One volunteer stepped up, knowing the stress of quarantine would not be good for her, and offered to quarantine her at home. Josephine has now been in foster over 3 years, where she has adapted into a very sweet and funny dog. This is the final book cover. Today, Josephine has her own social media pages with followers from around the world, all hoping for her to get her own home. Her story tells you everything about her, but does it answer the question, why hasn't she been adopted? I have learned valuable lessons about design from placement, typography, color, texture, purpose, and more. From color theory to lines and shapes and content editing, I also learned many Photoshop tips and tricks during this class that I will take forward with me into my future endeavors as I develop my own web design business.